temptation creeping in, but you look so good and I know what you're offering. Phone's lighting up, I'm just gonna let it rain. Yeah, my phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it rain.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Taylor Simone. On this channel, I post mostly loc content. So if that's something that you are interested in, I do recommend subscribing as well as hitting the post notification button. That way you are aware of anything new that I post. As you read by the title, I'm officially 3 years locked, and that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this video. My intention is simply just to share my journey with those who have been tuning in or those who are just stopping by, who are just curious what 3 years locked looks like for me. To make a long story short, I started my locks December 16th of 2022, and I started my locks simply because I was tired of the maintenance of my loose natural hair. I went to a loctician. I didn't start my locks on my own, and the reason it took me so long to get locks is honestly because I just felt like I was going to not have as many hairstyles or versatility with having locks, which looking back at it was simply just a limiting belief. So I'm gonna start off by just showing you guys how my locks look at 3 years.
Phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it rain. Yeah, my phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it rain. Is it liquor in my system? My desires are so real. Got me caught up in this rhythm. Draw me in and make me feel.
That is what my locks look like at 3 years. If you're interested in my previous updates on how they looked maybe year 2 or year 1, I'm going to link it right there in the right hand corner. That way you can go and look at it, or if you want to continue watching this video, it'll be linked in the description as well. Now, my first update I'm going to talk about is lock thinning. I have cut a few locks because during year 1, towards the end of year 1, I had gotten my hair bleached, and that has caused damage long-term for me. I actually realized from research that my hair was definitely over-processed. And before anyone comes for me, I did get my hair professionally bleached. It was still over-processed. I have very fine hair strands, meaning my hair strands are extremely thin. Like, you can think of a thread and just think of cutting that thread in half, and you have this like little string that's so thin. One characteristic with having fine hair is that your hair processes fast and easy when it comes to coloring and bleaching. So for the volume of developer that I had in my hair, for the amount of time that it sat on my hair, more than likely my locks were just over processed, which is why I have damage that I'm still dealing with today at the ends of some of them. And just looking back to me dealing with my hair after I had gotten it bleached, I had never felt my hair so fried and dried ever since that time. So that's another way how I knew that my hair was just over processed. I do believe the stylist who did it knew it was over processed, but just didn't say anything, because when I tried to book future appointments, for some reason they mysteriously just would not work out. Somehow they got canceled at the last minute. I'm not mad about it. Again, I decided to bleach my hair knowing what the consequences were, so it's not something that I'm gonna harp on. And also, it's just hair just grows back. And also, I'm just not attached to the length of my hair, because knowing me, I know in the future when my hair gets down to my waist, I am literally going to do a big chop and cut it back up a little shorter, just because that's just me. I care more about the health than the length when it comes to my locks. And now here are 2 locks that are an example of me having to cut them. So I cut these 2 locks. As you see, I combed out the section where I cut it, just to give myself curly ends, just to make something out of it kind of unique. Now I know some people are gonna ask, oh girl, why don't you just crochet it back on? I don't feel the need to do that per se for me, just because I'm the type of person, if something seems like it wants to not be there, I'm going to immediately just remove it, whether it be my hair or just something else personal in my life. If it just seems like it does not want to be there, it does not need to be there, it's not serving me to be there, I'm just gonna cut it off. So I'm just not the type that is going to have thinning, breakage, or something like that and then reattach the lock. That's just not something that I do. Not throwing shade on anyone who does do that though. I actually like the curly ends. It kind of gives my locks a little bit more personality. So I did comb out some other locks that I have had and the ends be curly on, just because sometimes I do it's another one. Sometimes I do miss my loose natural hair, but I don't miss it enough to actually fully comb out my whole entire head. So just combing out the ends and keeping them there for as long as I honestly want to and I'm willing to maintain it has been nice for me, because it's like I kind of get to see my old curls but still enjoy the benefits and the lower maintenance of having dreadlocks. Next thing I'm going to talk about in this update is I have a confession. I did contemplate combing out my locks. I was contemplating it for a minute, and it wasn't to not be locked, it was to restart a new set of locks, because I felt like at a certain point my current set just wasn't giving me the aesthetic that I wanted. And I felt like if I had a smaller set, I was just going to have more so the aesthetic I wanted. I just feel like my current set didn't give me enough volume, but I realized that, hey, even if I were to comb out this current set and I got smaller locks, I still probably would not have the volume I want, just because my hair density is what it is. That's just something about my head that I cannot change. So I just took that realization as an opportunity to practice self-acceptance as well as just complete honesty, because really the only reason I was unsatisfied with the way that my locks were looking was just that at the time they were shorter and they were growing in layers, and I do have thicker locks. And then for me, with the look of thicker locks being short and in layered, it just looks very spacey in the back of my head in a way that I just did not like. But I realized that as I allow my hair to marinate, as I allow it to grow and just flourish and do its thing, I like the look of thicker locks better anyways. And I don't believe that if I had smaller locks I was gonna like them anymore. For me, as I get more length on my hair, I do appreciate the sizing of my locks even more, just because locks are something that has to sit and just flourish and get better with time. That's where the patience comes in. So ultimately, trust the process, as everyone loves to say. If you're on a lock journey, what I will say is you have to trust the process. You may have to not only exercise your patience, but also your self-acceptance that, hey, this is what my hair is doing, this is how my hair looks, this is what my current density is, and I have to work with and accept that. And honestly, for me, whenever I do want a little bit more volume, I will put a curl in my hair so fast. That's actually by far my favorite lock style to have. I'll insert a picture on the screen of me with some pipe cleaner curls. I've finally learned how to do flexi rods. Look out for a tutorial on that very soon. But curls for the girls, like if you are a locked woman and you ever struggle with feeling feminine in wearing locks, add a curl. That'll solve that right up real quick. I don't know if this gets talked about a lot, but one other update I would like to say is it's really interesting to watch yourself grow along with your locks. When I started my locks December 16th of 2022, I was just in a completely different headspace, completely different environment. Everything was completely different compared to where it is now when I look back at it. And it's actually really fascinating because I'm not the same woman I was before. Like I literally have grown, and I'm not equating my growth to having locks. I feel like that growth is going to happen anyways. It's just amazing to see how my locks have grown in comparison to also how differently I think now as an individual. I just have a higher level of self-awareness compared to what I had before. And again, not saying the lock journey provides that for everybody. I'm just acknowledging that I'm just in a different space compared to when I first started my locks. Now, a lot of people talk about patience with the lock journey. That is a big lesson you learn, but for me, I would say the biggest lesson I have learned is just detachment. The same way I have to detach from the pieces of hair that I've grown, or detach from whatever aesthetic I had in my head when I was beginning my locks, that I'm not going to have that. As soon as you can detach from the things that are just out of your control, your life will just be easier. So I appreciate my locks just for teaching me detachment from things in my life. Now, if you enjoyed this update, do give me a thumbs up and also share this video, and even comment down below. I love when people actually give me feedback just so I know, did I hit with this video? What should I work on? Or if you guys want other videos, you can also let me know that in the comment section as well. And if you are interested in seeing my previous updates, again, they'll be in the description or on the ending of this video. They should be somewhere on the screen, so you can also take a look and check it out just to, you know, maybe see my journey. I don't know if you're on your own journey, maybe you want some tips, tricks, but if you are still here at this point in the video, I just want you to know that I do love you and I appreciate you. And You will see me soon, very soon in the next video. I do plan to post more content. I've just had a lot of changes in my life where I had to adjust to it, and obviously making content at that point was not on the highest part of my priority list, but I did not forget about it. It was always something like sitting in the back of my brain, like itching and nagging at me. I digress. I'm rambling now. I will see you guys all in the next video.